Hello everyone. Good evening. My name is Patrick Ding and I'm from K Media. With me is Mr. VJ.
Thank you. Greetings.
He is from Vipa Malaysia, a technology activator headquartered in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, USA. Also joining us tonight is Dr. Ahmad Moradi, our Chief Science Officer, who is joining us live from Florida. Tonight we will have a special fireside chat, and Dr. Moradi will lead us as a host tonight. But before that, let me introduce our other speaker, Dr. Francis Teo, who is an experienced enterprise architect who has worked with AI for more than 20 years, and he's from China, and tonight he's joining us live from Singapore. Over to you, Dr. Moradi.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, everyone, and welcome to our program, Tek Talk, where we plan to inform, communicate, and educate. One of the key elements that we always work with is the area of concern and how we can enhance the technology and create a new paradox. So my honored guest, Dr. Francis Teo today, who has been collaborating with us and building a new channels and opportunities, I invited him as a guest so we can just have a general conversation. Our format is going to be relatively simple today. We're going to be talking about some of the problems surrounding some of the subjects that it goes around webinar and webcasting and some of the areas that we have observed. And we're going to share some of that with you. After that, we are going to share Dr. Francis' presentation, a little slide that it showcase some of the things. And then we're going to give you a little live demonstration of what's about to come. And these opportunities, as soon as they become available, we will notify you, but we are giving you a sneak preview of seeing how the interactions in real time, where you need to mix and match and integrate technologies and services together to create a better call to action and a better experience for your audience. Francis, it's good to have you online. Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much to everyone. Yes, thank you for the audience for taking the time for after your dinner, coming to watch us on this webinar itself. So basically, right, I am quite interested to actually know the topic for today is about customized webinar. Am I right to say that?
Right.
Yeah. Before we go right into this topic itself, right, can we actually say some of the frustration that we have regarding the current webinars that we are actually using?
Yes. One of my personal experience as an ICT guy being in this market along with some of your esteemed colleagues is we face when we have to go into webinar and when we receive an invitation from a invitee, so to speak, then one of the areas that happens is we end up doing a lot of download. For instance, if we are invited by Zoom, we got to download and install Zoom. Then we get invited by Team. Then we got to download and install Team. Then we get invited by WebEx groups. We get downloaded. And then what happens, all of these applications are sitting resident inside of our desktop or our apps, devices, right? And they all want to take over our camera, our microphone, our devices. So it has become a very frustrating experience for the consumers when they want to attend. So they have to go to the setting, they have to release this camera to the camera and so forth. What has been your experience, Francis?
Well, I've been a IT professional for the last 20 years, and it makes me very stupid just to actually to download some of the apps by some of my customers, and then sometimes I want to share some of those videos as well as some of the PPT. It is a tedious moment because I do not know which browser is enabling me to share, because some of the browser is not compatible with the software itself. So I have actually searched what is probably is a Microsoft IE that is compatible, or is it a Firefox, or is it Chrome? I do not know until I actually download and try this and that. Until we fix this problem, it will be 30 minutes later.
Yes. And in fact, one of the things that you just mentioned is, as you know, browsers constantly update themselves. So there are older version of the browsers where they are lacking the driver supports or the update supports. And that also becomes a part of the user's experience where they are dealing with the older version versus the newest version. So we normally recommend our clients that one of the best things to do is always make sure that you update your browser, your preferred browser, to the latest copy, because they constantly make changes. Do you agree with that, Francis?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So in that respect, one of the areas that we wanted to talk about, the focal of our attention today is going to be about the webinars and the problems that we are trying to solve. So one of the ways that we decided to do this is say, what if we go against everybody else's that they have been doing this with the apps, with the download, with an install, and all of these variables. So we decided to develop KROOM in a way that it requires no download, no install, no app. We just share a link, you grant permission through the browser, and then you're in, and then you come out. So with that, I like to have some of the ideas of the protocol that we are building into our seminars and webinars and broadcasting into a feature base that first my esteemed colleague is going to talk about the KROOM customizable webinar room as the presentation is shown. Francis, podium is yours.
Well, okay. I think everybody actually comes into this KROOM, right? Okay, without downloading anything. I think that is a fantastic experience. I believe there are Google Meet also have that. But one interesting part about this KROOM is it is actually allowing us as the speaker or the trainer to customize. I think that's the main topic of today.
Right.
And the meaning of being ability to customize allows us to do a lot of things. Meaning it enabling us to actually to integrate powerful tools for marketers as well as speakers. Because of today's dynamic business landscape, a lot of virtual tools and interaction we need, and we can't actually do it through Zoom, and we can't through Microsoft Meet. Yeah, we can't do that. They do not have the means for us to actually add in third-party add-ons and customize the entire webinar room. But
Right.
through this KROOM, right, we are allowing us to actually do a bit of customization. I think you can see from the room itself, right, there's a lot of buttons here. It's actually been customized only last night. And
Right.
you can actually see that there are a lot of other features that we are talking about. What the a room normally have, right? They have a live chat, they have comments, and the most important thing for any kind of a room or webinar room is that they want to have interaction. For audience, right? All the audience, they have diverse preferences, all of them. But when it comes to interactivity in a live streaming or webinar, it is to actually to allow them to actually to have the interactive elements to actually to let the business leverage on this live streaming or webinar more effectively. So today, right, we are able, the main purpose of today's presentation is to actually show the audience, our audience, what this KROOM has and what it can do for you. I'm right to say that. Yeah. First of all, let's take a look at the next page, please.
Right.
So, we understand that it's actually a great way to interact. The most important thing is to interact. And that's the reason why we want KROOM. And live videos actually generate 2 times of engagement compared to pre-recorded videos. That's according to statistic. Next page, please. Thanks. So what actually audience expect from live videos? Okay, according to New York magazines, and reach out to 1,000 adults through survey, they actually think that 80% of the people who watch a live video like this, they would love to actually watch a live video from a brand than to read from a blog. Yeah, they prefer, 82% prefer a live video from a brand rather than a social post, and 67% of the audience watch a live stream and they want to purchase a product or a ticket from a of a similar event or from the brand itself. So
Correct.
in fact, right, they want to actually one click can immediately go and purchase. So can we actually do a Zoom and then we can actually one click do a transaction? No, but through our this KROOM we can. Later on we'll show it to you. And 81% they will want to watch more videos, okay, live videos with interaction, with chat, with the speaker itself immediately. And 87 want to watch the live videos, right? And of more behind the scene content as well. They want it to be unscripted. So today event, right, the presentation is unscripted. So I didn't actually just talk based on scripted dialogue. Yeah. So 56% want to watch live content for breaking news and conferences and concerts. So this is exactly what most of the people are wanting to watch a live webinar. That's the reason why they want to watch. Next page, please. Thanks. So, okay, now we have understand based on survey, the features that most of the webinar users want. They want interaction, they want survey, they want quiz, they want games, they want voting that is being integrated with the webinar itself. So, and they also want something like an interactive product link, meaning they can actually purchase whatever the speakers has actually asked them to, and they can, one click, they can actually buy anything. So maybe want to actually click on a button one, to just click.
So click on one.
Yeah.
And we will be showing that on the presentation. So we are good. Those numbers that you see in here, we've designed it for the purpose of illustration. So we can
later on, we can show you.
But yes, they are the first one.
Show later. But basically, I will just go through. Basically, what most of the customer wants is that they want one click to buy, one click to tour a place, a virtual tour, and they also want something like especially for the speakers, what they really want is the means of actually doing it for less, meaning less time to do a webinar, less time to prepare, and to maximize their reach to the audience. And in fact, how about having it 24/7? I have an auto webinar, automation 24/7 with interaction. Yeah, I think these are some of the features that most of the webinar speakers and users, they would love to have. And in fact, right, KROOM will have all this, and we will be actually demonstrating all this later on. Yep.
So one of the things that we like to do next, please.
So basically, what is the missing puzzle for KROOM is that we are able to do a lot of time saving instead of integrating with using a lot of links and getting haywire with a lot of sharing and a lot of these links that you put in the chat board, the chat column, and we will have a lot of time saving and a lot of cost saving as well. We do not need to buy a lot of different software, and we are enabling our speakers to be able to do live streaming 24/7, and that is the advanced feature of KROOM itself. So what do you say, Mr. Ahmad, Dr. Ahmad?
Yep. Well, I can say that we can definitely look at the tailored experiences through customization, as you mentioned, and provide a variety of services. But most importantly, as you just mentioned, is moving into a webinar that is basically like a Zoom and so forth. It's really boring, actually, because everybody's sitting in here, not doing anything. But when you bring content and broadcasting and interaction together, and then you follow it with the AI and automatic processes that it can create a different experience, you really bring in a new imagination into stepping into a beautifully designed, branded space that resonates with your identity as broadcasters, as webinar sessions, and so forth. And it helps the webinar from marketeers and speakers understand the value of making that lasting impression that normally would have not realized. One of the things that I like to do to our studio is showcase some of these buttons that we are talking about, just for the illustration. So we've set up some sidebars in here for you, that these are what we call CTA, call to actions. These call to actions are designed in two different formats. One of them is I will be showing it to you through these rooms, and the other one we're going to be showing it to you through another technology that we have already have in KROOM. So this kind of capabilities gives our streamers two kind of a distinct distribution strategy. One where you can bring everybody inside one room, like you're seeing in here, and then we can have a few people or thousands of people available on one venue. The other side of it is that we are going to show you how the other rooms are going to work, and also give you some sneak preview of some of the masterpieces that Dr. Francis Teo has worked on AI and is getting ready for the release through the KROOM. And then those are going to become some of the services that we are going to be offering. So with that in mind, let's click on a couple of these options. We're going to go through the sequence of this just for demonstration. So there is a double arrow background. If you click on that, there is a process that we put together, what we call foreground background. So automatically by the users clicking on a background, and in this particular case, for example, we have put out a little Christmas as a streaming. So for the purpose of getting ready for the holiday season and creating that. So if my colleague Ru can click on the double arrow on the top left corner and then showcase that for us, then we can move to the next options. So you can get just a glimpse of what we are talking about in this presentation. So see, nice cozy place. We can get together, we can be virtual, we can create a very warming atmosphere for the brands, for the sponsors, for the speakers. So therefore, it just doesn't have to become a video call. You know, we are bringing a combination of interaction and services together. Let's click on number one, and we finish that one to go to some of these highlights of 1, 2, and so forth. So with number one, in this case, we have created an opportunity where if you decide to shop and you want to use, let's say, even your Zoom services inside our room, you can do that. Okay, so by clicking one, then you can build an e-commerce directly call to action for your services. These are just for the purpose of illustration. So this is not designed exactly for the purpose of doing that work, but later on in the next session, when we invite you, you actually arrive inside this room where you can actually experience those buttons that we are showcasing to you. Let's go to number two. Number two is designed to give you another capability, like a survey, for example. Let's say you're having a large audience and you want to get some feedback from them in real time, right? So we can create polls, or we can have survey connected in here, and then that gives you the ability of answering questions, collecting data, because data is extremely important dealing with your audience. Without that, you really don't know what the requirements are, what they're looking for. So serving that needs becomes extremely valuable. Number three, if you will. With number three, if you go into an experience, then you will see that it's the premium and standard account that we will be presenting to our audience under KROOM. Standard allows you to just obtain a room and receive your news, what we call the newsroom, where you can read, you can watch, and you can meet with your constituents or your colleagues in a secured environment to read Borneo Post, Daily Oriental, all of the newspapers that KROOM publishes and makes it available, including the radio. Next, number four. Again, the purpose of this are for the illustration, so you can get an idea that how things can be changed. And those numbers are not static. They always can be customized with the brand and a logo. Another example is, let's say you like to have individual sessions with different colleagues, and they need to schedule because you want to do a need analysis and so forth after you educate your market. So it is ideal to assign and put a button in here so people can schedule an appointment with you and then follow up and understand, making their needs clear, as well as understanding your limitations or your features and capabilities. Next. The next option is going to be on a visual that you're talking about, where we build a complete platform for our sponsors and broadcasters that you can have multiple channels and a network. That is another thing that Team and Zoom and all of these guys will not allow you to have that kind of thing. In this kind of thing, like you see in here, like you saw when you're scrolling, you see there are different channels available, and these channels now gives you ability. And if you notice some of them that you see, it says UD2 European Championship or Istanbul or Munich. These are the services that we actually have provided for the European Broadcasting Union, going from COVID days that we have had those issues where studio and stadiums could not really get together and bring the audience. So we had to virtualize that and make the audiences watch through the newscasters, and the newscaster can broadcast with the rights management through 94 TV federations. So this kind of capabilities all becoming available through KROOM and KROOM services. Next. Number 7, I think it's about a catalog. For example, if you're doing a catalog shopping, or you want to offer a special privilege or a special discount or a new kind of a program, you can easily do that, okay, by integrating and bringing that call to action together. So your limitation is only limited to your own imagination. Next. So as you're going through this and experiencing the interactions of these rooms with audience, with call to action buttons, we are showing you also, if you want to move into metaverse, for instance, if you want to create a new spatial experience along with your video and webinar, you have that possibility of doing it. And we can also help you and assist you to bring all of those together under one roof. So your limitation, like I said, is only about the way you can think. Next. In here, what we are doing is we are providing you with a sample of a watch party or a live stream, okay? Like my colleague on the presentation was saying about the automatic webinar with the interactions on a 24/7. These rooms becomes more engaging because now we can watch a game or a streaming show or a sports or a concert like Dr. Teo was explaining to you. So this kind of abilities now is prohibited into a simple video conferencing where you can only do one session at a time. Next. In a streaming starting that you see in a program like we have in this example, we have included even a trade show, a trade fair. For instance, in a room like this, you can encourage everybody come to a job fair, for instance, or come to a trade show like you see in here right now. I'll ask my colleague to click on a lobby and I'll take you to a lobby tour so you can experience a little bit about how the booth can be set up for a special event. So when we are doing trade shows or exhibition or trade missions or educational or job fair, these tools become extremely effective for your integration, for your services, that it allows you to create. So here is a virtual booth where you can click on different booths and attend or participate, obtain information from them, meet with the representative, schedule a meeting. All of these things becomes part of this experience that we are sharing with you. Next, sometimes we want to have a virtual experience in a 3D environment, like an AR or VR, or even being streaming on a VR or a 360. So in here, we are showing you a little museum where you can walk around and enjoy and move your mouse and drag around or experience a painting. All of these experiences can be available through this next generation of KROOM webinars and services. And sometimes we love to play, right? Francis, we know, doesn't always play or work together, but at the same time, sometimes we want to get together and have an enjoyable time. So you see a little funny face that you can click on it, and when you click on it, then it gives you the possibility of accessing to games. These games can be available through third parties or licenses that you have obtained, or we can provide those kind of capabilities and everything else to you. So here we can play all of a sudden a little thing, show a little commercial, then have a brand and a sponsorship, and all of these things can be part of that. Now, this is part of this experience that I wanted you to see. Another experience that I wanted you to see is actually entering into a session that I'm going to do a screen share and share with you from my side, so you can see the diversity of the system is that we can assign multiple moderator for a protocol, so everybody can do their activities. So I'm going to take over now and basically become a broadcaster and share my screen with you and give you some input and ideas how we are talking about this environment. So my presentation right now is presented to you based on the way that you see my screen probably. And
Yes.
under my screen, now you see that there is a protocol that we also built called DMC DMR. Under the protocol of setting up the rooms that we can create a venue, this becomes a typical room. In this typical room that you see, that we will be featuring some of the videos that Dr. Francis in here was kind enough to assist us and showcase some of these. So we'll talk about that. But more importantly, in here, in the strategy that we are referring to, as we mentioned, you can have a room inclusive of hundreds and thousands of people inside of this, like here, or you can create a DMC DMR where one room becomes your main channel, and then that connects to many rooms. And the beauty of that is that channel gives everybody their own peer cast capability, but everything is controlled through the DMC. So you can change the colors for the holiday season, you can change the content, but you don't have to go individually to every one of those rooms and update them. The moment you make the changes on the DMC, the user experience automatically changes. And you can have multiple DMCs, for example, where you can have geo IP with cultural diversity. For instance, Eastern Malaysia versus Western Malaysia or Singapore can have different kind of a DMC for their own experience, their own colors, and so forth. So in this kind of a thing right now, one of the things that is coming soon available to you in the next few weeks will be K-Media ICDN Room and the K-Room that is going to become available to you. And we will be featuring that and making it available to you all. But more importantly, here is where we have some of the capabilities that I'd like to show you with Dr. Francis. Example of this is right now, you see there were 3 pictures supplied, requested by Dr. Francis. The picture of the girl, the billboard sign that you see, and the backdrop. And I supplied that content with the script, and the doctor was kind enough to showcase that and show us how that would create a video. So now
Netstairs.com, in collaboration with Livestream, brings you a cutting-edge technology that merges artificial intelligence and real-time video broadcasting. This innovation enables content creators, often referred to as publishers, to engage with their audience in highly
forgive me for some of my bandwidth. I'm already facing some hurricane issues. So just if you see power fluctuation is because of my situation in the region. But that gives you some general idea of what we are talking about. So this way,
interactive and personalized ways. Through AI algorithms, the live streaming platform analyzes user input, preferences, and behavior, allowing the content publishers to respond in real time, tailoring the content to each viewer's interests and preferences. AI interactive live streaming with AI avatars is an innovative technology that replaces human live streamers with virtual hosts powered by artificial intelligence. These AI avatars can engage with the audience in real time, holding interactive conversations, responding to questions, and delivering content naturally. Let's take a look at the following examples.
Yes. or this are real human beings. In fact, we are digital humans. Now, through Live Stream GPT, you can generate a clone of yourself, like this in just 30 minutes. Just upload real person videos. In less than the time it takes to have a meal, you can have your own digital human. Once the digital human is generated, they can go live directly. I'm so thrilled to have all these avatars as my buddies. It's like having a whole group of digital friends to hang out with and chat.
One of the areas that I'd like to ask Dr. Francis is, from what I understand, you have already built over 100 avatars. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And these avatars will be available through services that the subscribers can pick and choose. Am I right? And then could you elaborate a little bit about it while we are in this video?
Well, these are our we have created the avatars already, but we can always custom make the avatars to be your face instead. So, well, each avatar takes us about 7 days to create. We have hundreds of them. We have the Africans, we have the Indians, we have the Eurasians, as well as the Chinese, Asians. So all kinds of people, we have their avatars, digital human, we call it. So you can choose a representative to be your spokesman so that they can speak your script. All you need to do is to just put in the text, and then they will be able to speak in up to 10 languages at this moment. Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, I have a question. Can we replicate ourselves? For example, Francis, can you replicate yourself and then that becomes the speaker instead of a digital human?
Yeah, of course. I thought I have some videos of myself.
Yes, and I will show that momentarily in the language translation that we had with the capabilities of what you have done for, I'm just looking at to say, I'm looking for the one that you sent me on language.
Yeah.
So yeah, AI in translation actually. This, I believe, here it is.
Yeah, there you go.
I found it. Here it is. Here is the doctor, so we're going to share that with you.
Hi, this is Francis Teo, and I am able to use AI.
No, I think the bandwidth is no good, but
yes, my bandwidth,
if the bandwidth is good, right? Then you have lip synchronization done properly. Yes.
Yes, and then that is one of the areas that right now we looking at it from. Okay.
I want to ask you a question, Dr. Francis or Dr. Moradi. When you show that in 1 minute you can speak 40 languages, are you talking about if I speak in English and then an audience in Romania or in Brazil, they can actually listen, with their headphone, in their own native language?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, real-time interpretation. That one is not using AI, but it's a real-time interpretation using a different technology. We are actually integrating this with KROOM as well.
Right.
All right.
That's
great.
another video. Yeah.
Right. So the goal and objective is obviously bring the nextest AI delivery system that it can be used in the webinar, use an application, providing virtual salesperson or a help desk, right? That they can connect to your chat GPT from what we talked about, Francis, am I right? And then also they can connect to the frequently asked questions so they can become a live chat inside the room that they can provide that service. Am I right?
I think the most important thing is not just about that interaction as well, but it's also allowing the avatar to be able to help you to sell 24/7. I think we call it automation, whereby we are allowing automated interaction 24/7, and it will actually reduce a lot of customer service.
Correct. So one of the areas that you have shared with us was selling online, like Xiaomi Wei, Vietnam, for instance.
Giới thiệu Singapore và Việt Nam The Best Business Private Limited, một tổ chức quốc tế chuyên tổ chức cuộc thi sắc đẹp và show thời trang trên 23 quốc gia. Đội ngũ của chúng tôi mang đến những trải nghiệm đáng nhớ với sự tôn vinh vẻ đẹp, duyên dáng và tài năng.
Chúng tôi hiểu được sức mạnh của cuộc thi sắc đẹp trong việc hòa nhập các quốc gia và thúc đẩy sự giao lưu văn hóa. Với danh tiếng của những sự kiện danh giá, chúng tôi cung cấp một sân chơi cho những người phụ nữ tham gia cuộc thi sắc đẹp để đại diện cho quốc gia của mình trên sân khấu quốc tế. Nhiệm vụ của chúng tôi là gắn kết các nền văn hóa và thúc đẩy hợp tác quốc tế thông qua ngôn ngữ đẹp chung. Chúng tôi truyền cảm hứng cho phụ nữ trẻ để chấp nhận bản thân mình, theo đuổi.
Go ahead.
I think this is a KROOM that we are talking about.
Right. These
So
are
are
two
you
different
showing me
formats
all
of KROOM.
the videos are being able to be integrated into the webinar room itself?
Right. Right. And that is exactly one of the areas that we want to talk about, because people want to connect to the CDNs, as you know. They want to connect to many CDNs, to multi-cameras, to multi-devices, to multi-presentation, multi-locations, like we are doing right now. Me being in the United States, right? You're in Singapore, my colleagues are in KL, right? Studio, all of these people are physical and virtual. So we are bringing the collaboration in real time together, where we can create a seamless experience for the audience. I also love to share this with you because it was fascinating to me to look at the live streaming avatars.
全部长得一样的，同时播。
And this room actually are designed. Can you explain a little bit about these rooms, how they work here?
This is what I'm trying to tell you. Allowing all our speakers and customer service to do webinar 24/7 and using automation, meaning I
Right.
can have one Francis Teo, and
Yeah.
I can actually put my webinar in 24 machines, and therefore it will be actually each single machine will be selling different products or different courses. So that means one speaker can be doing it 24/7 and doing 24 different things at the simultaneously. This is
Yes.
powerful.
Extremely powerful. In fact, Francis, once I have you, then you can go play golf, right? And we can just have you 24/7 selling. So that makes life really easy for all of us. Would you agree, Patrick?
Oh,
Yeah, that
Fantastic.
means we can.
And we will be doing the webinar down here. You know,
Right,
we will be having
exactly.
AI avatar, AI Ahmad, AI Patrick.
So from now on, then you'll see our AI. You won't see us. No, I'm kidding. We're still going to participate and educate the market. But more importantly for us is just to let you know that these are the things that we have been spending years, decades of research. This didn't come out. And I admire Dr. Teo for his hard work in this space, that he's bringing the new innovation. But we are very mindful that to be using the AI for the good purposes, for the commerce, for health, for education, for the things that we feel that it helps humanity. What's your opinion, Francis?
Yeah, in fact, right, I believe that using an AI human can actually reduce a lot of manpower, but it actually allows us to reduce the manpower on, expert can be used on a better place in doing the research and doing the real thinking rather than doing all those tedious work like delivering of this kind of content. In fact, I have been speaking to a few experts. They don't like to speak. In fact, in front of camera, so they are camera shy. So they will rather have an AI expert, right? They clone themselves, so that therefore they can actually allow the AI clone to actually speak on their behalf. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he did something very creative, actually.
Try to speak. I just like me, I try to speak. So if you can create a Patrick KROOM, I think that would be wonderful. Doctor.
Speaking to all the different fans. So they want to speak to 1 million people, one by one by one. How is it possible? Currently with AI avatar, we can actually do that. And with KROOM, we can certainly do that and do it personalized. Yeah. And the last project that I have is actually one insurance company. They want to have the CEO want to actually to do greetings to all the staff, 10,000 of them. You think of the CEO got the time, 10,000, even to spend one person personalized greeting him. That means it's 10,000 minutes spent. Is it possible? So we have
No.
Messi. Show the Messi, please.
By the time the show is over, right? We're done. 10,000 minutes is already gone.
Yeah, it will be 10,000 years later.
Absolutely. Now, another one that you did for us and you showed it us, it was our colleague, obviously in here, that he recorded himself.
Hey, Thomas, what's up?
But unfortunately,
My friend Francis has invited us to watch the match at the pub. I hope I can make it. If I can't be there, enjoy the game. And don't forget to bring the snacks.
Yes,
Ciao.
always the munchies. So
that one is actually 30 million, mate. 30 million videos of him personalized talking to every single fans of his.
13 million. That's an example of power of AI. So all of a sudden you're getting a personalized message from your fan, right? Sending it that it gives that one-on-one relationship without having him to repeat 13 million times himself with every individual. These are the power that we feel the webinar is going to change, the 24-hour webinars that is going to make it available through this kind of technologies. KROOM becomes one of the most powerful data clean rooms available in the marketplace because we all are researchers. We all have worked in media, in AI, in delivery of the systems. So when we are bringing this kind of technologies to you, we are excited, first of all, ourselves, because we have put years and decades of work together. And more importantly, we feel the value is going to have a profound impact on your businesses and in your way that you're reaching out to your audience. And by the way, we'd like to hear from you to get your feedback or your input so we can apply those know-hows or ideas or suggestive thoughts that you have with the use of technology and make it available to you. So feel free to reach out and talk to us or chat us through social media. Patrick, if you want to talk about a little bit of those social medias, go ahead.
Yeah, Dr. Moradi and Dr. Francis, thank you so much, for your wonderful insight on this. I can see all the innovations and the problem-solving tools and methods that your AI avatars that you have created, that will make changes, in helping the businesses and the society, And of course, some of the features that that Dr. Moradi have presented, from the number 1 to number 9 was so wonderful, so valuable, especially in this kind of KROOM environment. I have a question here, since we are inventing so many, like avatars or whatever, how do the users and subscribers and their audiences feel safe and secure, then to know that these avatars are real, not fake? Because I come from a publishing media field. Obviously, every day we try to make sure that we don't publish any fake news and all this. So we have to make sure that to give the confidence and our user and subscriber have the faith to come into our KROOM and knowing that the avatars or whatever the AI personality, digital person that they encounter with are real. But do you have any comment on that?
Well, my comment is very simple. We pre-built everything on privacy and security. That's what data clean rooms are. These are the new standards that are published post cookies. As Dr. Francis mentioned in here eloquently, browsers are always complex because they have different resources and you don't know which audience is using what, right? So you always have these many complexities and you don't know. But when you bring the KROOM together and you include content, first of all, one thing that is important, we only allowed secure content to arrive here, authorized content. And those are done actually by the people that they own the room, okay, that they use it for their purposes, or the broadcast room like the KROOM that they read the news and they read or watch the news and so forth, because you have already protected the content. So when you're bringing it into the audience as a KROOM, they don't have to worry about fake news. And that is one of the reasons you have enjoyed 60 years of high standard, trusted relationship that has never been broken and violated, and we want to build upon it into the digital economy. Back to you.
Thank you, Doctor, for that explanation. Now we are coming to the end of our today's session. Thank you so much, Dr. Moradi, Dr. Francisco, Vijay, and also to our audience and our viewers. Remember to tune in to our next section, which is on next Thursday, September 7th at 8 p.m. And the next Thursday, our main speaker will be the CEO of Rate One in Malaysia. They are the telco company. The CEO name is Ingin Fari Yunus, and he will be speaking on the topic on demystifying communications and collaboration in today's digital economy. You can join us similarly through our social media channels or click onto our live stream video event link. And meanwhile, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us and post it on our social media, our IG or other platforms. Until then, stay positive, stay inspired, and we will see you next Thursday. Good night and bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.